Hello and welcome to God in Film, the podcast where a Christian and an atheist dive into the best that cinema has to offer and see if we can find any parallels with the gospel or any other Bible stories. I'm educator and court magician Giles Goff.
And I'm librarian and coven leader Julia Hall. And today we're going to be switching up the format a little bit. So I am going to be telling you what film we're looking at today, and that is going to be the 90s cult classic that inspired a whole new generation of witches, The Craft. And this time I'm going to be asking Giles, what did you think of this film?
Basically, in one of the episodes that we did previously, Julia started going off on stuff about like Wicca and how it's different from witchcraft and paganism, and I was like, this is great. It's not even close to where we're meant to be about. So I just
distracted.
said to
it's true. I
said to Julia, do you want to do an episode purely just about Wicca and we'll flip it up? So she was a 100% down for it. I've seen her notes, guys. She's 100% down for this. And frankly, I get to do the easy stuff and just chill out. So I've been really looking forward to this one, you know?
You deserve a nice little rest, Giles. You've worked so hard over the past however many years. You deserve a nice little break.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Okay, should we get to the Giles facts?
Yeah, hell yeah! I'm excited. This is a weird position to be in now. Tell me some facts, Giles.
Isn't it just? So, The Craft is a 1996 teen supernatural horror film directed by Andrew Fleming from a screenplay by Peter Filardi and story by both of those. The film stars Robin Tunney. I'm going to say Fairuza Balk because I've been calling her Fairuza Balk for the past 20-something years. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Neve Campbell and Rachel True. It follows 4 outcast teenage girls at Los Angeles Parochial High School who pursue witchcraft for their own gain and subsequently experience negative repercussions. Now, Julia, you and I have both worked in schools, and Catholic schools are usually traditionally seen as being a lot more strict. Was it just me, or did the uniform policy in this school seem insane?
I mean, for me, it was a bit jarring to see a uniform in an American high school setting. Mm-hmm. Because normally they just apparently like wear normal clothes, which I've always found very weird. But yeah, there's a variety of different uniforms going on. I'm just
saying, whoever's job it is to enforce that, they are doing a really bad job. Do you know what I mean?
They just don't care. I mean, I would love to have been able to wear little turtlenecks and polo shirts when I was at school. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if this is me showing my age or what, but I've got a bit of a thing for goth girls. Do you know what I mean? That whole aesthetic is I feel right at home with it. Do you know
Chef's
what?
Kiss.
I think it makes people look hotter. You know, I think that's the honest truth about it. You know,
slap a bit of eyeliner on, does wonders.
We're away at the races. So my first fact. 85 other actresses screen tested for the 4 main roles. Would you want to have a guess at some of them?
Oh,
let's do a little bit of fantasy casting. Who would you have cast in this at this time?
Oh, okay. I mean, I feel like maybe if Sarah Michelle Gellar had been in there, then that really could have
I'm so glad
things.
You said that, because as I was watching this, I kept thinking, I'm pretty confident this film could exist in the Buffyverse. I like the idea that Buffy is just one town over, fighting off vampires in her first school and setting fire and burning down the gym. You know. So yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar would have been a good shout. Believe it or not, Angelina Jolie, Alicia Silverstone, and Scarlett Johansson all auditioned for this role.
Ooh.
Now, here's the thing I can't quite figure out yet, is that Scarlett Johansson is born in 1984, meaning, and November 1984, this film came out in May, so she would have been 11 at the time of the film's release. So how on earth do you even bother looking at casting somebody who is that young for the teenage role of Sarah. Do you know what I picture this? I picture like a tiny little Scarlett Johansson coming in, and she can just about see over the casting table. You know, just doesn't quite work.
Little pigtails. Yeah. That.
I'm going to be an Avenger.
Sure, Scarlett. Sure.
Fact number 2. Robin Tunney, her hair looks pretty great in this, doesn't it? Robin Tunney wore an auburn wig throughout filming because she shaved her head for the role in Empire Records, which had just wrapped up filming a month before production started on this film. So if her hair at any point looks too perfect in this film, it's because it literally is.
That's a testament to the wig makers, to be honest, because I've seen some shocking wigs adorn both the big screen and the silver screen. Because I would never have clocked that to be a wig.
Fact number 3. In 2017, Fleming stated that Charmed ripped off this film. Fleming revealed he'd wrote a pilot based on the movie for Fox, in which WB, that's the Warner Brothers network, was strongly interested, and that it was his idea to have "How Soon Is Now" as its title theme. That's the song that's originally done by the Smiths, and it gets you hear it at certain points in the soundtrack, and obviously that's the soundtrack to the theme tune to Charmed. The pilot was not picked up, and the following year, Charmed premiered. Furthermore, Robin Tunney stated the rip-off was completely obvious, to the point that people would think I was on Charmed for years later. So we've got a little bit of like Babylon 5, Deep Space Nine stuff going on there. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting, yeah. I've never actually watched Charmed myself, which feels a bit sacrilegious, considering that, Buffy is probably one of my favourite, if not my absolute favourite TV show of all time. I feel like they sort of come hand in hand.
The bits I've seen of it looked a bit green screeny, so I was like, I'll get round to it. Well, obviously,
the werewolf suits in Buffy. I'm just saying.
The werewolf suits in Buffy are the werewolf suits in Buffy are interesting, and but there we go. Obviously, there's the sort of legacy sequel to the Craft Legacy, which came out in 2020. Are you familiar with that one?
I did watch it actually, maybe a year or two ago, so I have seen it. Okay. I really don't remember that much of it, so it clearly didn't have much of an impact on me.
So it was super memorable. The levitation effect was achieved by resting Rachel True on a platform held up by a pole in the floor. The pole was digitally removed in post-production. Like that technique, that just the way they shoot that whole scene is just kind of quite beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love the way they do that, because how can I put it? Not everything in this film has particularly held up. Do you know what I mean? Some of the effects some of the effects feel like they wouldn't be out of place in an Aerosmith music video, And
yeah, no, I can see that.
But the levitation thing, I think, was absolutely on point. The shots of Nancy being covered in bugs were created by wrapping a life cast of Fairuza Balk's head and torso in green screen material. The bugs were filmed crawling all over the casting and then digitally composited on top of the live action plate of Balk. I think that's brilliant. Like
that, do you know what? I was appreciate you and wondering how they did that, because for me, any scene where I would have to have bugs on me like that. Mm-hmm. No, keep your paycheck. All
the snakes as well.
Yeah, the snakes maybe I don't mind so much. It's bugs. The idea of little bug feet.
I was just seeing the snakes bit and thinking, Indiana Jones would be absolutely bricking it at this point.
Yeah,
absolute brown trousers time for that archaeologist.
Yeah. Oh my god, he would not survive. I don't think that would just finish him off.
My final fact is that rumours persisted for years that Fairuza Balk was a practicing witch or Wiccan herself, and weirdly, she actually stated that on the DVD commentary incorrectly at some point. In 2017, she set the record straight. She wasn't a practicing witch. She'd merely bought an occult shop in the process of doing research for the film.
Sorry, she just bought an occult shop.
I know, right?
She bought her a magic. That's dedication to the role.
Can you imagine? You walk out of the shop, you've bought some things, you look at the receipt and go, oh!
I'm baffled. That's incredible. I just imagine someone walking into your shop being like, "Yeah, I really need to do some preparation for a role. Can I just buy your shop? Just the whole thing, bricks and all. You can go home. You're done here." Like, incredible.
They do things very differently in LA. That's all I can say.
Very differently.
So there we go. Those are my facts.
Fabulous. So I guess now is time for finding the faith in the film.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba!
Yeah. That's
awesome. That's the first time I've ever been able to say that.
I know, right? So you're going to be listening to my dulcet tones now, even more so than you would usually. So
100% down for it.
I am going to preface this with I have tried to cram as much in as possible while also being succinct. But this topic in general has a lot of roots and a lot of pathways and a lot of information there. So if you do hear anything that interests you, I would absolutely suggest going off and doing a little bit more digging, because this is only the very surface of this topic.
Hey guys, it's Edison Giles here. Just popping in to say that you should definitely check out our Patreon page. If you head over to www.patreon.com/The God in Film Podcast, you'll find loads of bonus content such as extended interviews, extra little bits that didn't quite make it into the show, as well as exclusive content like our God in Gaming episode. Plus, if you sign up to our Bishop Waller Bridge tier, you'll get to hear episodes in advance, like our Eyes of Tammy Faye episode right now. So why not give it a try? And if that's not doable, did you know that you can help the podcast out for free by writing us a review, giving us a shout out on social media, or just telling a friend about us? Go on, you know you want to.